When they give me stale bread and make me want to poop my pants. Do, 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 do. Speaking of old rotten shit, yeah, I want to talk about the Elimination Chamber from WWE. Um, yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I, I don't know who I'm more pissed at. WWE Collective for putting on shitty pay-per-views, or myself for holding out a tiny shred of hope that they'd figure it the fuck out, that they'd do it right. Now, I'm sorry, this pay-per-view was straight up horrible. It was. It was garbage. Nobody gave a shit about half the stuff that was going on in the entire pay-per-view. There was I can't even put it into words. It's so frustrating. There was no build for half of the stuff. Like the middle of the card specifically was just a complete waste of time. I mean, it was a complete waste of time. You got Asuka, who they're building up to be this dominant female, going against this big woman. We all know who's not gonna win. And let's not even talk about the fact that they completely jerked off the Women's Royal Rumble, because the whole point of the Women's Royal Rumble is whoever wins it goes on to WrestleMania. So what did they do with this pay-per-view? Well, the woman who won it then has to defeat another woman who, if she wins, will be put into the WrestleMania match as a triple threat. How does that make any sense? How does that make sense at all? She won the Royal Rumble. She gets a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. That's how it's supposed to go. But yet they're like, and they come up with this brilliant idea. Let's just throw somebody in, and because we've got nothing else to do for a shitty pay-per-view that has zero relevance at all. It's supposed to be the Raw go-home pay-per-view before, it should help set up or put something into motion for Raw for the next couple weeks until WrestleMania. This did nothing. It was worthless. It was a complete waste of my time. Now, I will say that starting off with the women Elimination Chamber was a good idea. Unlike Royal Rumble, where they put the women on last, and it lost momentum. People were there to watch the men. I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a sexist way, but people were there to watch the men's Royal Rumble. And by the time you got to the women, 4 hours later, everybody was basically tired, and it was like, who gives a fuck? So the entire crowd was, I mean, they did pick up a little bit in a couple spots, but not like they would have if it had started the show. Anyways, the Women's Elimination Chamber started the show. Now, I will say, I think that was actually a very good... It was definitely the highlight. It was absolutely the highlight of the night, which wasn't saying much. Because you had, 6 women. You had Alexa Bliss, who was the champion. You had Sasha Banks. You had Bayley. You had Mickie James, which I don't even know why she was really in it, other than the fact they needed to fill a chamber slot. I don't know. And you had Mandy Rose and 101 Dalmatians, or DeVille, whatever the fuck her name is, who is extremely beautiful when she puts her hair down. Holy crap, she has got a beautiful face. I don't know, man. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, but I liked the story that they were telling, because you had the two, you had Mandy and DeVille, who were kind of the team. So to have DeVille start the match, and then Mandy come out, and then they were together, working together. That was good. That was good storytelling. It wasn't really a great story, mind you, but it was a good story. It was a good beginning to the story. And then you got Sasha Banks and Bayley, who were best of friends, and all of a sudden Sasha turns on her, and that stomp she did off the freaking cage, was off the pod. That was brutal. Bailey done took a tumble on that one. There was some definitely good spots there in the storytelling when Sasha turned on her. It was great. It was great. If I had a nitpick, I would have kept Mandy and Deville in the match just a little bit longer, just a tiny bit longer, but it played out like it should. And then when you had Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks at the end, that was great. That was a very good match. Again, the story was good. There was multiple little stories going on. Yeah, there was definitely some good spots. And when they had Bailey hung up in the ropes and Sasha got her leg caught in the chain fence thing or whatever it's called. I guess it's a cage, but it's not like the barred cage that they have. It was there's chain. I don't know, whatever the fuck it was. But she got her leg caught. That section was good. So yeah, it started out very good. The pay-per-view, like I said, started very good. Now, the other matches were just completely stupid. They were completely stupid. You had the tag match with Sheamus and Cesaro. It was an okay match. It wasn't anything spectacular. Who cares about Apollo Crews? Who cares about Dana Brooke? Who cares about Titus? WWE's done nothing to make me care about those guys. And I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I made this comment and a bunch of stupid marks were like, "You're racist. You're being racist. You're ignorant." Listen, here's the fact. WWE only dusted those two black guys off because it was Black History Month, and that's a fact. I guarantee you won't see Titus O'Neil or Apollo Crews come, I don't know, April 9th, day after WrestleMania. You're not going to see them. You won't see them until January next year to set up for Black History Month. I guarantee it. Because they did it last year, they did it the year before. All the token black guys that they bring out during Black History Month, you don't see them afterward. It's a fact. History proves it. Now, I will be shocked if you see those guys, May, June, July. I guarantee you're not going to see them come SummerSlam. I can almost guarantee it. I guarantee you're not going to see those guys. Especially when they do away with the dual, or they start doing the dual branded pay-per-views. You're not going to see those guys on pay-per-view ever again. You're barely going to see them on Raw. Unless they get traded to SmackDown, and they probably will. Maybe SmackDown would use them, because SmackDown always gets the ass end of the deal anyway. Which, currently right now, that show is fucking garbage, but let's not even get into that. Oh, and then they had the Ronda Rousey moment, I think, was actually pretty good. Thought it was good. I liked it. I thought Kurt Angle was funny. He fucked up his line, but it was funny. They basically brought her out to the ring to sign her contract, for those who didn't watch it. And as Steph is trying to get her to sign the contract, Triple H and Kurt Angle are yakking in the background like two old broads. All of a sudden, Kurt gets on the microphone and says something to the effect of, something that he overheard them say, something to the effect of, "It's been 3 years in the making, and now we finally own this bitch." Which, the way Kurt Angle said it was hysterically funny. Absolutely hysterically funny. And then Triple H tries to get him out of the ring. Says he has the flu, he's not feeling good, and he's making it up. And as they're going up the ramp, Kurt's still got the microphone, and he says something to the effect of, Steph said, "You're a has-been and that she could take you." That was absolutely brilliant. And then Triple H gets back into the ring, and Ronda is now pissed off at both of them. She gets in Triple H's face, throws him into the table, and Stephanie comes up, gets all like how she gets. Like that. I don't even know what you call it. It's like this. Not even. If I were to use the word banshee, that is a beautiful sound compared to what Stephanie makes. Imagine a cat being sodomized with a blowtorch and being dry froze at the same time. And that doesn't even come close to the shrieks that Stephanie makes. Well, she ends up slapping Ronda Rousey across the face. Ronda gets in her face. Steph scurries out of the ring. So obviously they're setting up for WrestleMania. Whatever. So that was good. I thought that was good. There was that one spot where Sheamus tripped. He was trying to get up on the top ring whatever the fuck that is, turnstile, buckle, stock, whatever the fuck it is. He was trying to climb the ropes, basically. And he slipped, and everybody in the crowd started to laugh at him. And he looks out at the crowd, and he does this thing, he wags his finger like, no, no, no. It was his reaction to what happened was very funny, I think, because obviously he fucked up. So him reacting to the crowd the way he did kind of, to me, offset what happened, and it was like, okay, that's funny. I mean, it was funny that he tripped, and then it was kind of funny how he reacted to, So again, that was actually one of the highlights of the show. So it was just a random fuck up. But hey, whatever. Anyways, then we go to the men's Elimination Chamber match. Now, the problem is they have been setting this moment up for a fucking year. It has been going on for a year. Well, technically, actually, probably WrestleMania, 31, whatever it was? When it was Reigns versus Lesnar. They've been technically setting up even since then, obviously not to this extent, but they've been setting this up. Brock has been the Universal Champion, the reigning, defending my dick. The fucking guy wrestles like 4 times a year. He ain't defending shit. I've defended bowel movements more than that guy's actually wrestled. Okay? Fuck that shit. Whatever. I don't want to get into that. No. The minute he became champion, everybody knew he was going to keep it for the entire year, and then Roman Reigns was going to punch his ticket to WrestleMania because he was either going to win the Men's Royal Rumble or he's going to win the Elimination Chamber, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the problem. WWE had one chance to fix it, and they done fucked up. Because the way it was set up, and it was just so fucking predictable. Roman Reigns is basically losing like every match for like the last few weeks. Like every time he's just getting his ass handed to him. Poor Roman can't win a match, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Then you got Braun Strowman, which everybody wants to see with the fucking title. They want to see him versus Brock Lesnar and actually win the title this time, which he should have the last time. But hey, whatever. They were setting up for this bullshit Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which nobody other than Vince gives 2 flying fucks about. But hey, let's not get into that. You got some dim-witted marks who are like, oh, Roman Reigns, he's so great, yeah. Whatever. You got those people, but their intelligence factor is just, I might be one of those smart marks who, no, I'm not a smart mark. I am somebody who watches the show and wants to, how do I word it? I want to suspend belief. I want to watch the show and not know who's going to win. Like, I don't need to read dirt sheets on the internet to see who's going to win. It's predictable as fuck. Obviously, it was him. No, they could have mixed it up a little bit. I mean, because of the backlash, they'll probably mix it up. They'll probably throw Seth Rollins into it and make it a triple threat or some stupid thing. Because during, WrestleMania 31 or whatever that was, Seth Rollins comes out, cashes in his Money in the Bank, and makes it a 3-way. He pins Roman Reigns, and Lesnar loses the title, so on and so forth. Or Reigns loses whatever it was. I can't remember at the time. Whatever. So they're probably going to call that back up, and then Reigns is going to win. He's going to go on for 6 months with the freaking title, or a year, or 6 years, or 100 million years, whatever. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I will give it one bit of goodness, and that's the fact that the fucking title will actually be back on your fucking program. Instead of being held hostage by, the $12 million man over there, who, I'm sorry, and the last time he was on TV, he looked fat. I'm sorry. Brock Lesnar looked fat. His tits were flopping. Dude, his tits flap more than my gut. And I'm fat. I'm a rotund motherfucker. That guy's tits were flapping. My tits don't even flap like that. So I don't even know what to make of that. I don't know if he getting... I don't know, man. I'm a little disappointed with that. I don't want to get into that. I'm not one to, make fun of somebody who's a little pudgy, but... Dude, his tits were flapping. He literally had an overhang in his gut and his tits were flapping. And that's your champion. He works 6 matches a year. It makes what, like $6 to $12 million or some fucking thing with some extremely insane amount of money. I don't know. I ain't gonna trash the guy. It's a fucking good deal, man. That's a great deal. Sit there and do 10-minute matches, 5 minutes if you're with Goldberg, who can't wrestle for shit. Dude, Goldberg couldn't wrestle. Well, he couldn't wrestle to begin with, much less now. He couldn't wrestle in his prime. I mean, he was doing like 60-second matches where you just go in, spear the guy, and that's the end of it. So to sit there and actually pull off, 20, 30-minute matches, he couldn't even do that in his prime. No, don't get me wrong, I like Goldberg. I do. I like the fact that he wanted to come back, and he wanted to perform. I give him credit, but the credit's only going to go so far when you can't even put more than 5 minutes into a freaking match. Like, seriously, that one match with Kevin Owens for the title, he wins the title within like 60 seconds. Now, I understand it was a shtick, 20 years ago. But, I mean, the guy's what, 60 years old? Give me a break. Kevin Owens wasn't going to go down that quick. Whatever. And then he just got it because he's going to be the token champion for what, a month? I think he won it in February and then lost it in late March or whatever it was, early April for WrestleMania. So give me a break. Wasn't even... Whatever. I don't want to get into that. So anyways, like I said, I don't know. They had an opportunity. Because what pisses me off the most about the way they set it up, other than the fact it was predictable, which, let's be honest, it's been predictable, since Cena came along, this cupcake era, this PG cupcake era, because, let's be honest, we had Ruthless Aggression era, we had Attitude era, we had that Saturday Morning Superstar bullshit era, we had it all. When Cena came along, we kind of transitioned into the cupcake era. You can't show the blood, you can't swear, you gotta be like, oh, poopy, and, you can't say, you can't flip people off, you can't do any of that stuff. The stuff that actually gave them ratings and actually made them money. But, whatever. Can't do any of that stuff now. Because now we've got to branch out. We got to branch out so that the little kids can watch and the old people can watch. Now, they were doing, 7s and 8s in the ratings. Now they're barely pushing 2. If they're lucky. Maybe 2.3 if they're lucky. If that. And that's on a good day. Now, I don't understand how you branch out and try to, quote-unquote, include everybody and lose that much in the ratings. I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me. That makes 0 sense to me. Because if you're branching out, it seems like, I don't know, you branch out. Now, yeah, you're not going to be doing like 10s and 15s in the rating, obviously. Okay, and yeah, you're going to lose a good handful of people who just, don't care for the cupcake era. Fine. That's fine. Let's say you're doing 6, five. No, fuck it. Let's say you're doing 4s and 5s. Okay, maybe you dropped 1, so you're 3s and 4s. Okay, fine. Fine. But you should at least make up a small percentage of that, of the people who are supposed to be the new viewers watching it. Well, there's not new viewers watching it. The people who are watching it are losers like myself who've been watching it for decades because their old grandfathers got them watching it back in the 80s and early 90s. That's the only reason I continue to watch this garbage. Because it's some sort of like little Hallmark moment, living in the past bullshit. If I had any brain cells at all, I would not be watching it. I wouldn't. I watch paint dry. That's more entertaining. That's more entertaining than watching the same fucking guy win every single time. It's like, give me a break. But anyways, what was so annoying is that Reigns was not winning. And it's like, oh, he's not winning. He can't win. He can't win. He can't win. Can't. It was one of those he can't win the big one kind of a deal. Now, they weren't playing it up that much, but like the last few shows, he wasn't winning. He got eliminated in the gauntlet match, so on and so forth. And then they have Braun Strowman come out, and of course, there's 7 guys. He eliminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it was. And it was just him and Roman. Instead of letting him beat Roman and going on and giving people the match they want to see, no, we got to give him the match that Vince wants to see because, hey, you know what? It's his company. He wants to run into the ground. Fuck him. Okay, fuck him. I mean, it got to the point they actually had to. I can't confirm this, but I've heard multiple sources state this, that they actually had to tone down the fans booing when Roman Reigns came out. Because you can tell, apparently, because The Miz came out, I think, next, and basically the cameras were muted. Basically, they had to tone down the boos. That's how bad it was. Because everybody knew he was going to win. We've known he's going to win for almost a year now. And like I said, I don't know who I'm more pissed off about. WWE or the fact that I held out hope. Because, listen, I'm not a bad person. I may say fuck a few times. I may, be hurtful once in a blue moon. I don't want to be a bad person. I don't want to sit there and say, man, I can't wait till Vince fucking dies so we can have decent fucking programming. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to find myself in that place in my life where I'm rooting for an old man to die. No, hear me. I don't want to be there. Or I am literally saying, I can't wait for him to fucking die. I can't wait for him to fucking die or retire. I prefer he retire. I don't want to, because what's going to happen one of these days, I'm going to wake up, go on social media, and it's going to be Vincent Kennedy McMahon passed away in his sleep, $1 billion fucking bed with a rock hard dick. That's what it's going to be. He's going to pass away. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to smile. I'm going to be like, finally, we can get some decent goddamn programming. Finally. And I don't want to be there at that moment. I don't want to wake up and read that and say, finally, it happened. Thank you, Lord. I don't want to be there. I don't. Now after this, I'm going to throw a fucking party the day he drops dead. I'm sorry. And I don't want to be there as a human being. I have, again, this deep-rooted inner desire to try to be good and to try to hope for the best. And dude, if somebody in my position, being born with spina bifida, being limited in like every aspect of my existence on every level, okay, things I don't even feel like getting into right now. Even I, and there are people worse off than me, yes, but even I, in my decrepit fucking state, physically and just as a human being in general, I'm still very optimistic. I still hold out hope. I still hold out hope, even though reality kicks me in the fucking dick at every twist and turn and says, no, fuck you, you get nothing. You get nothing. You try, you get fucked. You get nothing, fuck you. You go and die. That's what reality says to me, yet I still hold that little shred of hope. I do. I hold that little shred of momentary hope. You know, it's worked with Nintendo Switch. They were doing the same thing. They were pissing me off for over a decade. They've pissed me off for a long time. Now they're finally getting it right. They're finally doing it right to, you know, some degree. I mean, there's a few hit or miss areas, but, you know, and so when I watch this programming, I'm like, I want to see them succeed. I want to see them fill arena seats. I don't want to take glory in the fact they can't sell fucking tickets to an elimination chamber that nobody wants to go to see. That they literally have to give a buy one get one free deal because nobody wants to go see it. I don't want to delight in that. And I don't want to be in a place where I do delight in that because they're so fucking boneheaded and so fucking pig-headed that they can't even get out of their own fucking way to actually put on decent programming anymore. I don't want to be there. I don't want to hate Vince. Vince has done some amazing shit. He has. And listen, quote other people, the old man had a little bit of juice left. He did the, what was it, on Monday night? He did the gauntlet match. Now, I'm not a huge fan of gauntlet matches in the sense that they're not really fair, because if you're the first guy in there, your first two in there, the idea you're going to go, what, 6, 7 guys? I mean, that match was 2 hours long. So the guy who was in at the beginning obviously isn't going to win. But whatever. Okay, so it's a little bit unfair in that regard. But, okay, whatever. Listen, I'll give the old guy some credit. You know? It was interesting. The rest of the show was shit, but it was interesting. That was a good 2 hours, for the most part. It was good. They put over certain guys. They did certain things. There were spots in the match that were good. I did fall asleep through it, but that, neither here nor there. That was on me. That wasn't the show. You know, the last hour, maybe, because I don't even remember, but I caught bits and pieces of it. But, hey, listen, I'll give the old guy some credit. He did something interesting. Now, can he back it up with more? Apparently this pay-per-view isn't going to, you know, impress me at all. Like I said, I don't want to be in a place where I'm excited to find out that he has passed on. And I'm being serious. I don't want to be there as a human being. I don't want to be in that place. Okay? Because it pisses me off that you watch NXT. How the fuck is NXT under the same umbrella as WWE when you watch Raw and you watch SmackDown and you literally want to vomit in your own fucking shoes because it's so bad? How? Yet you watch NXT and it's fucking almost a masterpiece every week. Simple stories, simple concepts, good wrestling, good performances, good spots, good storytelling. You know, with a few hit or misses here or there. How is it under the same company umbrella? Is beyond me. And shit, I'll even say I've been watching 205 lately. After Triple H took that over. You know, it's been good. Drake Maverick. I couldn't stand the guy. Kind of like him now. He looks like a... I don't know. He literally looks like a glorified midget. He looks like he's a midget that's kind of... He looks like a tall midget, basically. He's got like that weird bobblehead kind of look, like that. Again, I'm not like... No, he looks like a bobblehead. He looks like a miniature bobblehead. Like, I mean, imagine a midget who's, you know, 4'3". Okay, as opposed to like 3'2". I don't know. Whatever. But he used to go by the name Rockstar Spud, and it irritated me. The name irritated me. His bobblehead, it bugged me. But now, I don't know. I'm kind of liking the dude. So you got 205 that's run by Triple H. Not bad. Hasn't been bad. Last couple weeks, I'm still a couple issues or a couple shows behind. I think I just watched 62, and I think they're in like 64, 65, maybe something like that. Whatever. Um, so it's like, what the fuck? How do you put on complete garbage and then put on almost masterworks? I don't understand that. How do you go from one extreme to the other? How? I mean, is it just because Raw and SmackDown are on TV and the better programming is on the network that you pay $10 for? I'll pay $20. Put Raw and SmackDown on the fucking network. Get it off USA Network and put it on your own fucking network and make it good. You know? I mean, seriously, you're talking 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, an hour of like other stuff, an hour of NXT. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is NXT. Or no, excuse me, on Tuesday you also have an hour of 205 Live. And I think there's like an hour or something, like Superstars or some stupid shit. So that's what, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, that's like 11, 12 hours worth of freaking wrestling a week. Now, I don't know how much wrestling anybody can take. I don't think you can take 10, 11 hours of that shit a week. Okay, I have nothing going on and I can't take that much. Okay, especially when that shit, especially the top 2 shows, are the top 2 worst shows. Like, they could take 205 Live, make it 2 hours, it would be good. They could take NXT, make it 2 hours, it would be good. They got 3 hours of Raw, which is like 3 hours of sodomy. It's just, you can't do it. You can try, it ain't gonna happen. And then followed up with SmackDown, which has... it boggles my mind how you take these development guys and girls in NXT and you bring them up to the main roster and then you just completely shit on them. Any momentum that they had, any like star power that they had, anything that made them interesting, you take that and say, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. You know, we're going to have Bayley show up and, yeah, people are going to be put to sleep. Now, how the fuck do you get put to sleep by Bayley? Bayley's one of the best... She is probably one of the top 3 or 4 performers in the women division. Legitimately. Yet, who cares? I mean, you got AJ Styles. I don't even want to watch SmackDown to see AJ Styles. How do you have AJ Styles on your fucking programming and I can't even bring myself to sit there and click a button and zone out for 2 hours because your program is that shit. Now, I don't know what the fuck Road Dogg is smoking, but I think he needs to go with X-Pac and go find Jesus somewhere because the guy's ruining the fucking show, and that's all I'm going to say on that shit. Again, I don't want to crap on the product. I really don't, but the product is not interesting me. It does not do a thing for me. I haven't watched SmackDown in about 4 weeks. Maybe 5 now. Actually, I think it's pushing 5. I don't even bother watching it anymore. And what pisses me off is they had the draft, what was it, 2016? And anybody who was watching that said, okay, Raw got all the good superstars, and then SmackDown kind of got the hand-me-downs of guys that just weren't going to make it on Raw, basically. Well, SmackDown started putting on decent pay-per-views. They started putting on decent programming, decent stories, and so on and so forth. They basically had the lesser card, but they were doing more with it. They became the must-see show. They were better than Raw for quite a while. Now, again, it's this big conspiracy that Vince wanted to sabotage his own product. And some people are like, oh, that's not true. I don't know. I see Vince sabotaging the product all the fucking time. Again, you got guys that come up from NXT who are like mega stars there. He brings them up to the main roster and then puts them in a wig, in a dress, and has them do stupid skits, and doesn't even let them wrestle. Tyler Breeze, great example. That kid should have been NXT champion. When he was going with Neville and Kidd in that three-way match for the title, he should have won that son of a bitch. He absolutely should have won that son of a bitch. I mean, that kid's got talent, and they do nothing with it. That kid, I don't think, has wrestled, unless he does house shows or something. I don't think he's actually wrestled a match, like a legit match, in about 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, he's been in the ring, but he basically takes a bump and puts the other guys over. Now, hey, again, you know what? He's making millions of dollars. He's on Twitter saying, well, you know, it's whatever, but at least I just bought my fourth house or some stupid, or my third house. Okay, I mean, if you want mediocrity, fine. More power to you. But I think this kid's got potential. This kid should have a world title shot. And literally have a world title run. That's how good he is. But hey, if he's content to sit there and act like a fucking buffoon, who am I to stop him, you know? It's just like, I want to see these guys perform. People want to see them perform. Not do stupid skits. Not this, WWE, WWE Entertainment, World Wrestling Entertainment. Fuck the entertainment. We want to see legitimate wrestling. It's a wrestling program. If I want entertainment, I'll go to my local supermarket and watch the old ladies walking around the fruit aisle. Okay? Seriously. If I want entertainment, I'll fire off all my clothes and go stand in front of a fucking mirror. Okay? If I want entertainment, that's what I'll be doing. If I want entertainment, I'll go hang out with my fucking father. Okay? No. Fuck your entertainment. First off, if you're going to do entertainment, it helps if the shit's funny. It helps if the shit's entertaining. It's kind of hard to have entertainment when it ain't entertaining. I don't know, man. Again, they shit all over Neville. They shit all over Kidd. I feel... holy shit, dude. Tyson Kidd was... Oh, God, he... When WWE first brought him in, they brought him in with... I can't remember the other guy's name. I think Davey Boy's son. I don't know what the fuck they did with him. I don't even know where he is. Unless he had a gimmick change. I don't know what happened to him. I have no clue. And they brought him in with Natty, who is... was it Brett's niece or second cousin, third brother, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. Neidhart's kid, that's right. He was Neidhart's kid, that's right. And they did nothing with them. They literally did nothing with them. Well, thankfully, Kid got hurt or something. So he was off TV. Then when he came back, they put him on NXT. And then he actually became this amazing heel. And then, not only that, but was literally amazing in the ring. Like, he was doing... His performance in NXT was brilliant. The character he built, I was a fan of it. I loved it. And then they bring him back up to the main roster. They don't give him a microphone. And it was just complete garbage. And then he gets hurt and damn near breaks his neck. I actually think he did break his neck. And now he could have died. He can't wrestle anymore. And it is good to see him. He was on, they did they did something on YouTube or something, or Facebook or something, where him and Cesaro were watching a match that they were in or something, and they were kind of doing commentary. It was a good little thing. It was good to see him. It was good to see that he's, actually alive. Because the last time I saw him, I think it was on like Total Divas or something. And he was in a neck brace. He couldn't even move. Like he's sitting there like a little like a turtle with a turtleneck up around his head. And he's like, and he couldn't even move. It was like, holy shit. Because you don't want to see something like that. Like, I don't like Roman Reigns, but I don't want to see him paralyzed. You know? And no, I don't want to see Vince die either, just for the record, for the earlier part. Like I said, I don't want to see that. I don't want to be excited for that. It's like, you know. So I'm not one of these people like, I hope they die. I hope he gets injured. No, people like that are fucking stupid. People like that are stupid. I hate Roman Reigns. I hope he gets injured. No, it would be a means to an end. I won't deny that. But no, I don't want to see him get hurt. People who do are fucking imbeciles. They're idiots. Not Roman Reigns' fault that Vince ruined him. It's not Reigns' fault that WWE keep pushing him down our fucking throats to the point that, you know, nobody wants to see him, that he gets completely booed out of the freaking building every time. To the point they actually have to tone down the freaking microphones so people can't hear it on the pay-per-view, which is pathetic. I mean, oh, but any reaction's a good one. Yeah, when your top fucking face, and of course Vince doesn't believe in heels or face anymore, but let's be honest, he's the top baby face. He's getting booed the bejesus out of the building each time. Him and Cena both. Dude, there's a difference between legitimate heel heat like The Miz gets, or like Elias gets. There's legitimate heel heat, and then there's the go fuck yourself, go die heat. Okay? You know, the get off my TV type stuff. Now Elias was absolutely funny tonight. His gimmick is where he sits there on a little stool and he's got his guitar and he plays. He's gotten actually pretty good at playing the guitar. And he starts singing, and while he sings, he trashes wherever they're at. Or were they Vegas or something? His song was something to the effect of being in... I don't remember what he said, but it was something to the effect of that he was inside the cage, and much like being in Vegas, I can't remember what he said, but it was something to the effect of the people in Vegas could relate to seeing people that they love behind bars. It was absolutely hysterical. It was one of the funniest things I've seen him do. And I'm sorry, that guy is fucking gold. Why don't you push him? Why don't you shove him down our fucking throats? You know? Because God forbid you push 2 or 3 guys. You know, instead of, oh, it's John Cena. Well, now John Cena's old and he wants to go do other stuff. Oh, now we're going to give you Roman Reigns. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, what about everybody else, though? You got Braun Strowman. You've done a decent job at building him up, but you're doing nothing with him. You're doing nothing. Oh, he eliminated 5 guys in the chamber. Yeah, but he didn't win. You know, that's like saying, gee, I masturbated for 5 hours and I didn't climax. Well, guess what? It was a waste of 5 hours then. I mean, seriously. Ain't no edge in here, motherfucker. Ain't no edge in here. It's all or bust, motherfucker. Literally all or bust in some cases. Give me a break. Oh, but he eliminated five people, man. No, he didn't. He didn't. It was a wasted opportunity. He had an opportunity. He could have eliminated every single guy there. He could have eliminated all 6 guys out of there. He could have gone on to WrestleMania, beat Brock Lesnar, and won the title, and people would have gone fucking ape shit. People would pay money to go see that. They would pay money to buy tickets to go see that, Vince. They would see that. They don't want to see fucking Roman Reigns. Nobody gives a flying fuck about Roman Reigns except you. Of course, Roman himself. But hey, what do I know? I sure wouldn't pay money to go see that shit. I don't even want to sit at home and watch that shit. Seriously, why would anybody want to go see the Elimination fucking Chamber when you know the freaking outcome before? Dude, we knew the outcome a year ago at WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar won. We knew it was going to be for an entire year. And that was the talk of, you know, he's gonna be holding it for probably a year, holding it for quite a while, and then Reigns is gonna take it. We knew about that for a year. No, a year goes by. Why? Why would anybody want to pay money to go see that shit? Why? Like if I said, oh, the new Star Wars and everybody dies. Okay, who the fuck wants to go see that? You know? I don't know if anybody does. I don't care. I don't want to know. Fuck you. I mean, seriously, who's going to spend money? Because think about what you have to do. Think about it logically and logistically and just overall. You have to pay for hotel rooms. You have to pay for flights. You have to pay for transportation. You have to buy food while you're there. You have to do all this shit. You have to get the tickets. You have to get there like 15 hours early so you can get in the fucking place and sit there and buy $15 hot dogs and $27 sodas and sit there and try to watch this shit. And of course, unless you pay the real good money to be around the outer part of it, you ain't going to see shit in the nosebleed section. They're going to look like little ants dancing around. Okay, complete waste of freaking time that is. And for what? Just to see Roman Reigns win a fucking again? Really? Really? Vince? You're like, oh, on a ticket sale. Yeah, you wonder why nobody's buying tickets to your shitty ass fucking show. I mean, seriously, watch SmackDown. Who the hell wants to go see that in person? Nobody. I love AJ Styles. I would love to go meet him someday. I ain't gonna do it anytime soon. Even if I physically could get there, I ain't never gonna do it. I ain't gonna pay money for that. Maybe a meet and greet in the back somewhere where he signs an autograph. Maybe. At least I get that. I get something out of it. Go sit there again with a fucking $80 hot dog and a $27 beer. What the fuck am I gonna do with that shit? I don't even like beer. Give me a break. But no, hey, just combine the pay-per-views, and instead of having SmackDown pay-per-views and Raw pay-per-views and keeping it separate and having an actual brand split, no, let's compile it together so that you can have top 2 matches on Raw, top 2 matches on SmackDown, so you got 4 top matches, and then an undercard of like what, 2 or 3 crappy matches that nobody cares, and that way everybody that's at the very bottom will never see. Guess what? You'll never see Titus again unless it's Black History Month. You won't see Apollo unless it's Black History Month. You sure as fuck won't see Tyler Breeze. You won't see Ty Dillinger. You won't see Fandango. You won't see Ascension. Those guys ain't even on the fucking radar. They're in the back seriously, they're in the back eating catering is what they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're sitting in the back playing video games. That's what they do. They sit there with Woods and they play video games. That's what they do. They have nothing else to do. They're quote unquote waiting for their shot. Waiting for Cena to get hurt so somebody else can get called up and they can kind of move up the roster. Well, Cena ain't getting hurt. Nobody else is getting hurt. So guess what? They're sitting in the back sucking each other up doing nothing. What's the point of that? Listen, I understand having a vast roster. I get that. And yeah, you need backup singers once in a blue moon in case something happens. I get that. But what happens if something does happen? It's like a couple years ago when John Cena got hurt. It was right around Christmas time. Well, guess what? You only built up John Cena. So when John Cena shits the bed and he's out for 6 months, guess what? You've got nobody to rely on. Back in the day, what was it, Attitude Era, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, guess what? Guess what happened when he went out? Guess what happened when Owen Hart damn near broke his neck and he was out for months? Had to have surgeries and all that shit. Gee, you had The Rock. Huh. Rock, something happened to him. Who'd you have? Triple H. Huh. Who else did you have? I think you even had Hogan at one point. I think you had Ric Flair at that time. I could be wrong. You had HBK. You had Mick Foley. When Mick Foley is like your 5th, 6th, or 7th guy on the roster, you're not doing too bad. Now, let's be honest. If Cena and Reigns got hurt right now, who really do you have? Okay, you got Rollins. You've just started to build Rollins back up. So, and that's within the last 2 weeks. And Braun within the last few months. I'll give you maybe 6 months with him. So, okay, let's say this was 6 months ago. Who do you fall back on? Who do you fall back on? Now, again, I'll give you credit. You got at least two guys you can kind of fall back on. Okay, still not. They're still not in the same position as Roman Reigns, not even close, or John Cena, not even close. Let's just say those four guys get hurt. Now who do you got? Short answer, nobody. Now, SmackDown. Okay, what happens if AJ Styles gets hurt? Who do you have? Who do you have? You really don't have anybody. You got maybe Orton. He's kind of not really in the mood. He's kind of just winging it now. So he's not really in a place to take over. Maybe you got Kevin Owens. What, are you going to go back to Jinder Mahal? Really? You going to have him be the fucking champion for another 6 months, 8 months? And completely decimate the show? Really? That's you know, you don't have a Ty Dillinger. Wouldn't even consider him for a freaking title shot. Again, it's like 2 or 3 guys get hurt. And that did happen. What was it, a couple WrestleManias ago? A bunch of guys got hurt, like, all at one time. And that, I mean, the roster was completely decimated. It was completely decimated. And the entire WrestleMania was like this shit show of just nobody. Because what happens is if they don't build them up and they don't maintain them, then, 6 months later, so-and-so shows up, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know they were still working there. And then they expect the fans to be like, oh, wow, we're going to go into a main event with this guy that we haven't seen for 6 months. Yeah. You can't do that. That's just not good business. You know, it's just, you got a handful of guys that you completely dump all your innovation into, which ain't much, by the way. And then you just say, fuck the rest of them. You know, we got 10 minutes to fill. Let's have a random match between random people that nobody gives a fuck about because we haven't done anything to make people give a damn. I don't understand that. That doesn't... Like, for example, I watch NXT. I watch their pay-per-views. Or their version of a pay-per-view. I am invested from the bottom of the card to the top of the card. I care about what every one of them is doing. And considering that it's a developmental program, I want to root them on. I want to see them do what they do. I want to see them succeed. Even if I'm not a big fan of the individual, I'm still not like, oh, this guy sucks, I hope he gets injured. You know, that kind of a mentality. Like you take Cien Almas. Not a big fan of his character per se, but the guy's damn good in the ring. I was happy to see him win the title. I was. You got Johnny Wrestling, who's probably one of the best performers they've got at all. Okay, I do not want to see him get called up to Raw or SmackDown. I tell you that right now. Because we've seen what Vince does to guys like, Daniel Bryan. And this guy is the next Daniel Bryan. Now, I don't think he is on the same level in that sense. Some people I could see the comparison, yes, but I don't necessarily think... Like, Daniel Bryan doesn't have to say anything. He can just stand there, and people will just start chanting yes. Or Johnny kind of has to... He's almost there, but I don't think he's, like, that high. He's close, don't get me wrong. I'm not, But if you had to say who's more over, Johnny Gargano or Daniel Bryan, you'd have to go with Daniel Bryan. Just because. And Daniel Bryan hasn't wrestled for years. He's been out for quite a while. Yeah, he shows up and people just go nuts. It's like when Hogan showed up there, because there was that time when Hogan came back. And for like 5 minutes, the entire audience would just stand up and just cheer, Hogan, and all that shit. And they would cheer for like 5 minutes. Like the whole show would just stop for like 5 whole minutes. And I don't understand why somebody like Vince or somebody would have a problem with that. Because it's good entertainment. It's good show. It made it interesting. It did. It was like, Hogan is just standing there, not even doing anything, and the entire audience is just like raping him with sound and just screaming his name and just screaming at the top of their lungs. And it was like, it was surreal. Even sitting at home, it was surreal as fuck watching that shit. Yet they want to quickly put the kibosh on that because, it's like the minute somebody gets over on their own, Vince wants to shit on it. Like Rusev. Rusev is getting over. Yeah, where's he been? You know, Daniel Bryan gets over. What do they do? No, can't wrestle anymore because, whatever. Give me a break. So, I don't know. Right now, the product, it's like, the product is 50-50. You got, what, 4 shows, 2 of which are run predominantly by Vince, and the other 2 are predominantly run by Triple H. The ones that are run by Triple H are actually worth watching. They're almost masterclasses in great wrestling program. The rest of the stuff, no, I'm sorry. Vince has this old school mentality, and it's not necessarily a bad mentality, but it's just, we've seen it for so many decades now. It's just old as fuck. And because you've got different variants of wrestling fan. You've got they refer to them as marks, and then there's the smart marks who, kind of know, well, this, is this and that, and, it's like, now, as somebody like me, I watch the program, and I want to not nitpick every single solitary thing. I do want to suspend belief, and I do want to just sit there and be like, and quote-unquote mark out, just to get excited and be like, oh my god, yay! I want to be there. But I'm not going to just sit there and say, oh, congratulations, Roman Reigns, for winning the, Elimination Chamber. You can go on to WrestleMania. People like that are just imbeciles. They are. They're just idiots. They're idiots. And then, of course, you got the dipshit non-wrestling fan who constantly wants to inform you that it's fake. Yeah, no fucking shit, it's fake, asshole. How many times do you think you can get kicked in the back of the fucking head each week before you fucking die? Obviously, it's fake. That's not the point. It's about storytelling. Are you going to tell ballerinas what they do is fake? Are you going to tell people in trapeze artists what they do is fake? Are you going to tell ice skaters what they do is fake? I guarantee you take a couple bumps, you're going to be like, this ain't fake. Yeah, the story's fake. The outcome is predetermined. Yes, obviously. Obviously. Thank you for your insight, Sherlock, you fuck. Okay, I understand that. Everybody understands that. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. There are some people who do think it's real. But to sit there and, oh, it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. So is your mom. That's beside the case. So is your sister's tits. That's neither here nor there. I don't know. Like I said, and I don't want to be one of the, oh, you're an entitled fan, you're this, that, and I'm entitled to a program that doesn't put me to sleep each week. I'm entitled to a program that doesn't piss me off. I'm entitled to a program that actually lets me see the people that I want to see perform. If you're going to give them a fucking contract, then you fucking let them perform. Don't let them sit in catering and then waste away. I mean, it's pretty bad when certain characters like Cody Rhodes has to leave WWE just so he can wrestle and not wrestle a stupid fucking gimmick that was going nowhere. And it's like, oh, you gotta do this stupid gimmick. He's like, I don't want to do the gimmick anymore. Fuck you. And he left. And now look at him. He's making more money. He's more famous. He's more successful than WWE could make him. Now, why Vince would do that is beyond me. It's like he wants everybody to fall into these mediocre notches where it's like, okay, this is what you do, and it just flatlines. The entire program is just flatline. It's like you're waiting for the little beep, beep, beep to show a little fucking life, and there is none. It's the same shit. John Cena. That's why people make fun of his 5 moves of doom. Because, oh, shoulder tackle, there's 1. Oh, 5 knuckle shuffle, there's 2. The AA, there's 3. You know, the crossface or whatever. Well, he cannot put that fucking move on. I am not an expert, but he cannot put that move on properly. I don't know what the hell it is he's trying to do, but it looks stupid. It's like, I don't know, man. And it's like they become these caricatures of stupid shit where it's like, okay, they do the move, do a few things, oh, do another move, then do a finisher, it's over. And I understand that's kind of what they do, but you can mix it up a little bit. You can mix that up just a little bit. You know? I mean, I don't understand why a wrestling organization promotes guys who legitimately can't wrestle. Cena cannot wrestle. I'm sorry, he can't. This isn't just, I'm just some smart mark who hates Cena. No. The guy is literally stiff as dicks in the fucking ring. Like when AJ Styles was trying to put the Styles Clash on him at the beginning, when they first started going at it back on SmackDown. He was stiff as fucking dicks. You can literally watch sometimes where Cena, who's supposed to be the face of the company, he can't even he can't even set himself up for the moves properly. And like you see him trying to like swing his arm back to get so that the other person who's putting the move on can grab his arm. It's like he's almost, and then he starts calling the spots during the match, and you can see him talking to the. It's like it completely. You want to talk about breaking immersion? I don't know, man. But yeah, he's your top guy. I don't want to take anything away from Cena. Listen, he busts his ass. I'm not going to sit there and say he doesn't bust his ass. He doesn't work out. He doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't do that stuff. He absolutely does. Yeah, and he's been a good face for the company. I mean, if that's all you're looking for, he's not the best wrestler in the world. I will say he's probably a step up from Hogan. Well, let's put it this way: if he has 5 moves of doom, Hogan had 3, and Reigns I think has 7. So they're getting a little bit better. It only took 20 decades, but hey, whatever. Give me a break. Yeah, Hogan's been around since fucking dinosaurs, dude. Jesus. That guy's, what, 70, 80 years old now? He's in better shape than I am. He's better shape. Shit. He is in damn good shape for being like 102 years old. Like, he probably could put on another match. I guarantee you, he could put on another match. I don't know how good it would be. He'd be, like, stomping around and can barely walk, but as far as, like, just his physique and shit... Shit, he could do those 3 moves again. I mean, seriously, all he's got to do is just flex, put his little hand to his ear, lean into the rope, hulk up, wiggle his finger, and then drop the leg. That's all he's got to do. That's his moveset. That's it. He could do that. That's the problem. I'm surprised they haven't brought him back to do it. Again, that's what the whole point of my rant is that you have these guys who just do the same fucking move. Yet you get somebody like, Johnny Wrestling. No, he's too good. He's too good. He's got to limit it to like 5 or 6 moves, and that's it. And they come out and put. It's almost like Raw and SmackDown are an exhibition show. Not even to the point where. Actually, a real exhibition would be decent because, they'd show what they could do in the ring. Instead, this is more like, I'm going to just come out here, cookie cutter the fucking thing, and then that's going to be the show. I mean, Raw has been cookie cutter for, like, 20 years. It has. And there hasn't been a lot of innovation as far as that goes. I mean, really the only innovation that Vince has brought to the product is instead of having caricatures like, I can't even think of them off the top of my head. Like, you had Doink the Clown, you had, Razor Ramon, who was a caricature of like a dude from Florida, Hispanic dude kind of thing, Haitian dude, whatever the fuck he is. But you know, you have all these caricatures. You had Skinner, who was out there back in the day. You had the Rougeau brothers. They were actually better than I remember them. They definitely went under the radar. The one turned into the Mountie, so you had like that caricature. You had Hillbilly Jim. You had shit, I can't even remember half of them. But again, they became like cartoon characters. And instead of doing that or coming up with these outlandish names like, you know, whatever, I can't even think off the top of my head. But you know what I mean. Instead of coming up with these weird names like the Devastator or, you know, some stupid shit. Now they're going by their first name, their real name, you know, or a variant of a real name. So that's basically the only innovation. Instead of doing the caricatures, they've done seemingly real people, like real names. And it's just, I don't know, it's the same damn thing. How can you have the same damn thing for 20 years and then sit there and wonder why ticket sales suck? Oh, ticket sales suck because, you know, because of the brand split, because we've got, you know, this, that, and the other. No, it has nothing to do with the brand split. Was there a problem before when SmackDown was actually good? No. Maybe you had one or two times where tickets were maybe not selling as well, depending on different circumstances. But I don't think ticket sales were as bad as they are now. I mean, if that's what you're going for, if that's what you're going to blame it on. Oh, you know, it's a brand split. We got to get rid of the brand. It had nothing to do with the brand split. If your programming was top notch, was actually worth watching each week, and not stupid idiot fucking retardation, you'd make people want to come out and see your product. I'm telling you right now, somebody who listen, I'd love to go see a show. I'm not gonna lie, I'd love to go see a WrestleMania. Again, assuming I could physically do it, and I can't, but if I could, I'd love to go see a WrestleMania. I'm not gonna go watch Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar, something that's been talked about for over a year. I'm not gonna go see that bullshit. In fact, if anything, if that was the main event, it was on last. In fact, when I watch WrestleMania next month, or April, whatever, that's almost March. That better be the last match on the card, because I'm not even watching it. I'm turning it off. And if it's, you know, second to the end, well, I ain't watching the rest of it then. Fuck it. I'm turning that shit off the minute that shit comes on. I'm turning it off. I'm not going to watch it. I don't give a damn. Absolutely idiotic. And again, like I said, didn't you wonder why ticket sales are shit? You know? Like, oh, gee, let's go out to watch Titus O'Neil. Nothing against Titus O'Neil, but the fact is, you bastards have done nothing with him for over a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You've done nothing with him. Nothing. Yet Black History Month shows up. Oh, early January. Let's dust off Titus for a couple months, and I guarantee you're not going to see him, you know, come April 9th, day after WrestleMania. I don't even think you'll see him at WrestleMania. And if you do, it's going to be some bit role or some, you know, he might have a moment on the pre-show, maybe, and then you're never going to see him again. You're not going to see him for the rest of the year. Seriously, did anybody think they're going to see Titus O'Neil? And again, nothing against Titus. I thought he did a decent match tonight. Do you think you're going to see him at SummerSlam? You think you're going to see him at Survivor Series? You ain't going to see him. And again, especially with the frickin' pay-per-views all going all branded, where you got both Raw and SmackDown now, you're not going to see Titus O'Neil ever again. So, all these idiots who were giving me crap on on Facebook for making a comment about that. Well, guess what? I'm absolutely right. You're absolutely wrong. You're a mark. You're a fool. Shut the fuck up. You know nothing. Your opinion means nothing because you suck dick at life. Again, you're not going to see Titus O'Neil. And I doubt you're going to see Apollo. Apollo Crews, you're not going to see him anytime soon. That's why this branded pay-per-view bullshit that they're doing away with it. It sucks because, again, WrestleMania was dual branded. You had SmackDown matches, you had Raw matches. Might even be, a 205 match, 205 live match for the cruiserweights, the smaller guys. You think you're going to have that on these shit pay-per-views like Elimination Chamber and some of these Fast Lane? You think you're going to have again, you think you're going to have Titus O'Neil on Fast Lane? Really? I don't know. Because again, if you're going to top end it, because you got to make up those ticket sales, you're going to top end it with all the top stars of Raw, all the top stars of SmackDown. You're going to intermingle that shit. How much room do you think on a 3 to 4 hour pay-per-view you're going to have for the little guys, the other guys? How many people do you think you can fit on that? What, you're going to have 16-man tags now? Really? Bulk up each pay-per-view for an hour? Like WrestleMania, that's 16 hours fucking long. Like, that's not long enough. Now we're going to kick it up to 17 and have like a 17-man battle royal fucking thing? Are you kidding me with that bullshit? Well, actually, they already do that. They have that Andre elimination thing. Whatever. But you get my point. You can't have it both ways. You cannot sit there and say, yeah, we'll give the little guys a chance, but we're going to top end the fucking whole pay-per-view with the top stars of each brand. You can't do that. Unless you're going to have the pay-per-view go on for 6 days. I mean, what is this, a Sam Kinison party? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Whatever, man. Hey, it's not my company. I'm just sitting here watching this shit wondering what the fuck is going on. And I know I'm not the only one. Now, I'm not saying they need to cater to every single solitary thing I say, but hey, I know I'm not alone in this. I know a lot of people are really frustrated with some of the bullshit that's going on right now. Roman Reigns should not have won the fucking Elimination Chamber. It's just that simple. Well, that's what they were setting up, and if anybody, listen, I get it. I knew he was going to win. Everybody knew he was going to win, but just the fact that he won is annoying. It's irritating. It's frustrating. It's like, it. You know it's going to happen, and when it does, it's like, you get pulled over by the cop. You know it'll happen someday, and then when it does, it's annoying. Especially when you see that shit coming a mile a minute. It's like, whatever, man. Anyways, overall, it was an odd pay-per-view. It started out really good. I really liked it. The end, because you had the women's elimination chamber and you had the men's elimination chamber, and they were both not bad, with the exception of Reigns winning and completely ruined. Now, here's a problem that I've completely had. I hate when they put John Cena in the main event, especially when there's like multi-person, like when they put him in the Rumble and shit. John Cena ruins the fucking Rumble every time he's in it. He ruined the fucking match because it's like, you started out, you had The Miz, you had Seth Rollins, and you had Finn Balor. And these guys were going all over the place, or backflipping and jumping, and all of a sudden Cena comes out. He's like the Snuffleupagus, like he just stomps around the fucking ring. He's stiff as dicks, and the whole pace just slowed down to a dead, screeching halt. It was this fast-paced, really good thing, and then all of a sudden he's like looking for Big Bird with his fucking trunk hanging. He is. He's like the fucking Snuffleupagus. That piece of shit. That woolly mammoth motherfucker from Sesame Street looking for Big Bird. That's what he's like. You can't tell me that's not true. He's like Snuffleupagus wearing a bright green fucking lime green t-shirt. Whatever, man. Whatever. Yeah, like I said, it started out good, and then the individual matches were, I didn't really care. I didn't care about the tag match. The women's match, I didn't care. The whole stipulation thing with it was stupid because she had won the Royal Rumble. She shouldn't have to defend that. That should have been set in stone. That she had to defend it. Because what happened is, if Nia Jax won, it would be a triple threat at WrestleMania. Well, it shouldn't have been a triple threat at WrestleMania because Asuka had won the fucking Royal Rumble. It's like I said, she got a automatic title shot at WrestleMania. It shouldn't even have been a thing. So, just dumb booking right there. It was just, basically they did it to fill a spot, basically. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And of course the Ronda Rousey thing was decent. It was okay. Watching Triple H get thrown through a table by a woman was pretty funny. And he was selling the shit out of it, too. The look on his face. One thing I'm going to say, and this is something that's not just WWE exclusive, but something, it's a pet peeve. It's just a legitimate pet peeve. It irritates me. And there's a couple people in WWE that do what I'm going to say. It's like I said, it's just a pet peeve. These people who spend all this money on these suits, and they have these fucking ugly brown shoes. Dude, anybody who wears brown shoes, they need to be shoved up their fucking ass until they actually turn brown. But I hate brown shoes, dude. I don't know what it is. It just, they stick out like a sore thumb. They sit there and they show like a full body, and the guy's standing there, he's got this suit on, he's got the tie, and he's got these brown fucking loafer things. They're not even loafers. They look like bowling shoes. They're like these brown... they look like the wooden shoes, but they're like leathery, and they irritate me. It's like, why would you wear shoes like that? And especially there's this one announcer guy. I don't know if he's an announcer. No, he's one of the guys in the back, and they have all these fucking haircuts where they like shave the sides, and they have now some people look good like that, and then some people just look fucking stupid. There's this one announcer guy in the back. This guy does interviews in the back, and his hair just, I literally just want to grab him by and just rip it out of his fucking hair and then take his shoes and shove them up his fucking ass. And I'm not a violent person, okay? It's just, and the guy himself doesn't really annoy me. It's just his hair and his shoes piss me off. Like, I literally want to shave his fucking head, take his shoes, glue his shoes to his head, and glue his hair to his feet, because that's how stupid he looks. He irritates me. Like, I want to bully this guy. It's how fucking annoying he is. And again, he's not necessarily annoying per se. It's just that visual look at him. I don't know, man. And then you got Corey Graves. And I love Corey Graves. I loved him in the ring. Now, I don't think he was the greatest wrestler per se, but he had this persona. It was like a James Dean kind of, like, vibe. Really, really cool vibe that he had. Like, he's stalking around the ring and stuff. And of course, he ended up, what was it, concussions or whatever. I like the guy. He's great in commentary. I think Corey Graves is like right up there with like Bobby Heenan, as far as like commentary. Not exactly, but he's up there as far as like the quips and just humor, and he's up there. He's not as good, obviously. He's not Bobby Heenan, but you know, if there was like a second best. And it's like way down the line, and he's like I said, second, because like Bobby Heenan's like way up in the stratosphere, and you know anybody else is like ground level. But I like him. He's definitely good. But his hairstyle, what in the fuck, dude? I swear to God, they showed him tonight, and people were making fun of it. There's memes about it now. It looked like he had a loaf of bread on his head. He has this weird, like, again, the sides are shaved, and he has like this little blonde basket on top of his head that just kind of swishes around. Like, almost like if you took toothpaste and like squirted it on your toothbrush. It has that like little like Jimmy Dean sausage in the little round wrapper. It literally looked like somebody took one of those Jimmy Dean sausages, cut off the ends, and took off the wrapper, and just plopped it on top of his fucking head. I his hairstyle just, and not that his hairstyle is necessarily bad, but tonight it just looked really weird. Oh, speaking of really weird, the Elimination Chamber, whatever they do with the lighting, they need to fix that shit. Now, there's cool lighting like around the outside, and then they do this thing where, basically they have these pods. Two people start. Well, this one started with, they had 7 instead of 6, so they had 3 guys start. But the women's one was 6. It's usually 6. And then you have these little pods, these little chambers, these little plexiglass chambers, and the guys stand in there, and then every 5 minutes the pod opens up. Well, they do this kind of cool camera view, and they look down, and you see like the ring. You see because the ring has like at the very top of the ring apron, it has these they almost look like docks, like on a river, like these little I don't even know what the hell you call them. They're like extensions, so like the very top of the ring extends out. So like if they go over the top, there's like flat ground. They go over the top rope, there's flat ground. And then there's like this cage that's made up of like this chain. And the chain kind of does this like hashtag kind of look, like a tic-tac-toe board. Like that, and it goes across, and they can like walk up it. Whatever. Anyways, he does this cool move where they look down and you see each chamber, and almost like on a game show, like and each chamber lights up as it spins around, and then you hear the little horn go off, and then whatever one it lands on is the one that opens up and they come out. It's actually kind of cool. I like that, but there's this weird fucking lighting inside the chamber itself that looks like, honest to God, I thought, like, it happened with Roman Reigns. When he came out, he's standing in the middle of the ring, and the way the light is shining, it's shining this dark light on his back. I thought he was dirty. I literally thought he brushed up against something, and he had, like, this dirt across his back. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden he moved, and the light changed, and it's like, oh, okay. It's this weird, like, almost like purplish, I don't know, it's this weird-ass light. They need to get away from that. They need to take that out. Whatever the fuck it is, they need to get rid of it. Because it's distracting and it's annoying. It's awful. It's not good. I don't know why it's a thing. Why no one's noticed it. They need to stop that. Because that's... Anyways. So, yeah. I don't know. I started out saying that the pay-per-view was bad. It wasn't good, but there were good moments. The middle of the pay-per-view was just worthless. It was just worthless. I mean, just completely waste of time. It was not... It was okay. It was mediocre. I mean, again, I don't want to take away from Apollo Crews and Titus. I don't want to take away from Sheamus and Cesaro and their tag match. But it was an okay match. It was basically, a filler for Monday Night Raw. It was like something you could get on TV for free. It was a filler match, is all it was. And then the Asuka-Nia match was completely pointless. And then the stipulation was just bullshit. So it was like a double-edged sword, because it's like it bookended nice. It had good bookends, except for the fact Roman won. So yeah, I mean, as far as like a good pay-per-view goes, no, it wasn't. It was a horrible pay-per-view. The matches in and themselves were not that good. But like I said, the bookends were good, and of course the final finish was total bullshit. So I don't even know, like, if you were to give it a letter grade, I don't even know. I mean, I'd say it was basically a C minus. And the only reason it didn't get a complete F is because, like I said, the bookends were good, minus Roman Reigns winning. So, I don't know. Women's match, that was great. That was the best match of the fucking night. The women stole the show on that one. They did. Then Ronda was pretty good. That section was pretty good. And then the men's elimination was good too. And not that the other matches, not that they were bad, but they were not like, I don't really think they were pay-per-view quality. Again, they should have been on TV. They should have been on Raw. You know, there's just that kind of like, they were filler matches. They weren't even anything to write home about. Not that they were bad or not that the performers didn't perform well. I'm not saying that. But the matches themselves and the purpose for them was very weak. Very weak. I don't think Raw built those matches up for anything. And they tried for like 2 seconds. They're like, oh well, you know. But again, it was just ugh. Because you're gonna have all these people, oh, it's the greatest pay-per-view ever, man. Those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Those people have no clue. Now, I would argue that maybe, potentially, the women's match was probably one of the better matches I've seen this year. Could go down as like one of the matches of the year. Although I would probably hold off. Actually, right now, the match of the year is Johnny Gargano versus what's his name? Cien Almas for the title. And Johnny should have won, but that's neither here nor there. That one's definitely match of the year. But the women's match, I definitely put up there. I think it's right now probably my number 2 favorite match of, you know. It started out a little slow, but it definitely picked up toward the end. And then, of course, holy shit, dude, Alexa Bliss, after she went through, because, I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, they, you know, these chambers are, you know, that's hard chain and shit that they're being thrown into. Yeah, there's a little give, but not that much. You're basically being thrown into a chain link fence, you know. She then, right after the match, she then cuts this fucking amazing promo. She starts off, she's crying, and the people are chanting, "You deserve it." Because she retained her title after beating 6 women in an Elimination Chamber, which was pretty brutal. And people are chanting, "You deserve it." And she's tearing up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm doing it for all the little girls out there," and blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden she turns, and she, like, stops, like, being all cute, and she turns and gets, like, all evil, and is like, you know, "I'm still the goddess, all you people suck." She just went completely ham on the crowd. Fucking beautiful promo, and to do it after a match like that, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's why she's the champion. So, yeah, I like that match. I mean, of the night, I think it was probably the best match of the night. Now, don't get me wrong, the men's match would have been better as a collective if they had gone and made it where Reigns didn't win that. No, they still got a month where they could make Reigns still somehow make a triple threat or something and put him in it. Blah, blah, blah. But if he had lost that match, because everybody knew he was going to win, if they had put maybe Braun or Seth Rollins or somebody, like if Seth Rollins had won that and made it a triple threat, that would have been an amazing ending. Because again, everybody knew Reigns was going to win, and of course Reigns wins. So again, if they had thrown a curveball in there, it would have completely, that pay-per-view would have gone from like a C minus to shit. I'd say a B. Maybe a B plus. Maybe. But just the middle of the card had no purpose. And it wasn't a lot of matches either, but still filled out like 3 hours. Yeah, because those Chambers matches were shit. They had to be at least 45 minutes long each. There's six and seven people, and they come out every 5 minutes, and then they wrestle for at least 15, 20. So yeah, it's pretty insane. Anyways, that's no. This wasn't really a review. It's more of a rant. More of a freaking rant. I don't even care. And yeah, I'm one of these people who would end their subscription. If it wasn't for NXT, I would have ended my subscription a while ago. And maybe picked it up every 6 months and just watched a few things. You know, picked it up for a month and then watched in bulk and then got rid of it for another 6 months. You know, I would have. I would have. If it wasn't for NXT each week, that's the only reason I pay $9.99. That's it. The only reason. You know? Because the pay-per-views have been kind of crap. All last year, I mean, most of the pay-per-views were not that good. Most of the matches weren't that good. NXT was the only... No, to me, NXT is worth $10 a month. That alone, especially the takeover pay-per-views that they do, absolutely worth $10. That's the only reason I keep that garbage. Especially when they have the... Because, like, NXT is every 2 months. And it coincides where, like, okay, it's WrestleMania, so NXT has a pay-per-view. And then 2 months later, so on and so forth. So they basically hit the big 4 pay-per-views, and then NXT has a pay-per-view. NXT's like the night before, like on the Saturday. And they completely set the bar. They completely set the table for, you know, the weekend. And usually the Vince McMahon related shows do not come close. They don't. They are horrible in comparison. They're mediocre. They're play by number, paint by number, whatever the fuck. Whatever I meant to say. And, you know, especially sometimes when you get those pay-per-views that are really no better than just random Raw TV shows. It's like, really? This is how you're going to follow up? I mean, like the Royal Rumble weekend. Now, the Royal Rumble was okay. This was probably the best Royal Rumble that I've seen in about 5 years. In fact, I tweeted that the night of. It was definitely one of the best that I've seen in a while. But that wasn't saying much. But the NXT program the day before fucking blew that shit out of the water. Not even close. We're talking from the beginning of the match, like the very first match, to the end. It was like, I couldn't wait. I wanted to see more. Like, if that went on for another 6 hours, I would have watched every minute of it. I may have had to take a break, but I would have come back and watched more. You know? So it's like, they set it up with this great weekend, and then the main roster stuff just like... I mean, it literally is like the air coming out of a balloon. Like, you know, just floats off into... sputters off into nothing. It's disgusting. Anyways, I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck them, fuck Roman, fuck Cena, fuck them all. Fuck Vince, too. Get him in there, too. Get him on the fuck train. Getting tired of his shit, too. Anyways, you know what? I'm getting tired of WWE. I might not even watch... Seriously, I might not even watch freaking WrestleMania. I'm going to buy into the hype like everybody else. I'll be sitting there watching it, I'll order my pizza, you know. Whatever. I mean, it truly is the definition of insanity. You keep going back to the same freaking abusive bullshit. And seriously, WWE is like a jaded fucking lover. You just keep going back to the prick. He keeps beating you and punching you in the fucking tits. And eventually, you know, you gotta pick up your shit and leave. You know? That... It's like, what else is there, you know? I have nothing else. What? What else is there to watch? What else is there for me to do? If I take up NASCAR, I'd rather punch myself in the dick until I die. Whatever. Anyways, I'm done. Fuck you.